Alright, so I have my phone because I need to make sure the dates are accurate for you guys. And by the way, today is December the 10th. And y'all, it's been a lot going on. So we're gonna rewind back to the most recent situation that has occurred, which happened November the 20th. So me and my girls, we planned a trip to go to the cabins in Tennessee, which is an hour and 30 minutes, almost 2 hours away from where I live. And it's from Friday to Sunday. So we ended up leaving Friday, like I think around 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we all met at my friend's house. So we met at her house, and y'all, instantly I just felt really nauseated. My heart rate was like increasing. I felt kind of like dizzy and things like that. So I just told her, like, you know, can you drive, because I don't feel good. And at the time I honestly didn't know what it was. I just thought, like, I don't know, I just thought I didn't feel good or whatever. A part of me kind of felt like it might have been separation anxiety, because if you know, I have been a stay-at-home mom for 3 years, and I think it's almost a year that Babe has been home pretty much every day. So I definitely have a very strong connection and am very attached to my kids and Babe, and, you know, vice versa them. That's what I thought it was, and I thought it was surpassed or whatever. So we get there Friday night, and I feel okay, you know, still feeling kind of sick, but it wasn't anything too major. So the Friday night goes by, then Saturday morning I wake up and we do sip and paint. So when we do sip and paint, I noticed that when I was painting, like, my hand was like shaking and I couldn't really keep the brush steady or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And this was like maybe like 11 o'clock. And then later that day, I felt everything I felt Friday night or Friday evening, or Friday around 12 or 1 before we left, I felt that night, except for it was 10 times worse, y'all. I felt so nauseated. I felt lightheaded. I felt dehydrated. I increased heart rate. And y'all, I can tell when, and I'm pretty sure, like, when you guys exercise, you can tell your heart rate is like increased. Like, that's like, my heart rate was like going on 10. But I tried to stick it out because, you know, I didn't want to be a party pooper and all this stuff. So night goes by, they go to the store, give me some nausea pills to kind of kill the nausea, and it helped for a minute, and then shit just got worse. Like, it just got worse. So I ended up calling Babe, trying to talk to him, you know, thinking it'd make me feel better. And y'all, when I talked to him, the shit got worse. So I was like, okay, let me just hang up with him, because I don't know what it is, but talking to him just spiked it up for some reason, and I'm not sure what happened. So it got to the point where I felt like I could not endure anymore, and it got to the point where I felt like I could not move. It was hard for me to engage in a conversation because I felt like I was out of breath, and it was hard for me to breathe. So basically I had them to call the ambulance, because I really did not think I could make it another night feeling the way that I felt. And me explaining it to you guys, it kind of sounds like it's not a big deal, but y'all, I was really going through it. I was so emotional. I cried all that, well, pretty much during the whole day. Well, not the whole day, but majority of the day. just because I didn't know what the hell was going on, and I was just super confused. And at one point I was thinking, like, am I pregnant? Like, am I pregnant? And then I was crying because I'm like, I don't want to be pregnant. And then of course I was thinking it might be separation anxiety. I'm, you know, an hour and a half away from my family, and I don't know, you know, if something happens to me, like they're not here, like what am I gonna do? And then I also felt like part of it was me mourning the loss of my mother still, because if you guys know, my mother passed away in May of 2019. And I just thought it was that, just because the first time I ever felt like this was when I went to view her body, and I had like a slight panic attack. Or no, it wasn't slight, it was a panic attack, where it was just hard for me to breathe and have to go outside, get some fresh air. But anyways, it got to the point where I didn't think I could endure anymore. I had them call the ambulance, and when the ambulance got there, they checked my blood pressure. Well, no, yeah, my blood pressure and my pulse, and my blood pressure was through the roof. My pulse was very high. I don't remember the exact number, but it was definitely up in the high 120s, maybe early 130s or whatever. So it was crazy. So they asked me, like, what did I think it was? I'm like, I don't know. And crazy that the guy in the ambulance, he actually was like, you know, I think you're having an anxiety attack or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, like this makes sense, anxiety attack. So got in the ambulance, still the anxiety's through the roof, y'all. I'm shaking, like my whole body was just doing this, like uncontrollably, with the blankets on. And from what he told me, it was hot in that van. So I'm just shaking, and blood pressure through the roof. And you know, it was just scary for me. Like I said, my family, baby's not there, my kids are not there. This is my first time in an ambulance. Like, I've never had to be rushed to the hospital for anything besides giving birth to my 2 kids. So that was just scary in itself. But my friends followed me behind me in the ambulance to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, y'all, I'm just crying. And while I'm crying, like, my blood pressure is going up and up and up and up and up. My pulse is going up and rising, and it's just all bad. And she's like, you know, you need to calm down. But it was just so hard, because it was just like a roller coaster of emotions. And then I had her, of course I did an EKG to make sure everything was okay. And other than anything else, and I also thought at one point I might have COVID, because I did take my temperature, it was high, and it was just fluctuating. But everything came back. I'm totally fine. I just had a very bad anxiety attack. So I had to have her, like, you know, can you tell my friend to come back here? Because if I wasn't talking to anybody, y'all, the negative thoughts that I was thinking just made my anxiety 30 times worse. So I'm like, I need somebody in here to talk to me so I can just, you know, calm down. Because if I don't, I might just pass the fuck out. And it was just bad. So they diagnosed me on my discharge paper. Let me show you guys. I went to Fannin Regional Hospital in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and this was on, you guys can see, November the 21st, and they discharged me with, having a panic attack and palpitations. They also prescribed me hydroxyzine, HCI, which is basically used to, let's see, what is it used for? For panic attacks. Oh, for anxiety. So it's used for anxiety. It says take 1 tablet by mouth every 6 hours, and it's needed. And that's what they gave me, and they just basically told me to follow up with my doctor. That night, babe actually ended up driving all the way there to pick me up and take me home, because y'all, I just needed to be with family. Like, I thought it was an anxiety attack, so I'm like, anytime I'm with him, I'm gonna feel better. So get home, and I'm thinking I'm gonna be okay because I'm with my family. and I have another one, although it was not as bad as when I went into the hospital, but it was definitely bad. I was shaking, and I just had to, I mean, I didn't have any medication at that point, although they gave me medication at the hospital. I think it was kind of wearing off because like I said, I had another one. But you know, I just had to breathe through it and relax and think positive thoughts, because that's the only thing that I could do, honestly. Like, there was nothing else. Like, the next day, y'all, I go get my medicine, and at this point, like, I didn't want to drive nowhere. I didn't want to go anywhere. I just wanted to lay in bed and just sleep. Like, I felt tired, and I was crying. Like, y'all, honestly cried. Maybe like the first whole week I got back, it was just bad. But I went to go put my prescription in, and while I was putting it in, you know, I'm having anxiety again, so I'm pacing back and forth in the store, and people are looking at me crazy. But it just anxiety. I keep saying panic attack, but it's anxiety. Anxiety is just really, it's just really hard to, I'm not saying hard to deal with, but it's definitely took me for a surprise, because I've never dealt with anxiety before. The first time that I've ever felt this was like when I was at my mother's funeral, when I had an anxiety attack. But other than that, and that's actually was another incident that occurred maybe a few months ago, where I was with my friends, and same thing occurred, but we were doing something else, and then I thought that was the cause of it. But now that I think about it, I had an anxiety attack because I was just thinking negative thoughts. And that night, y'all, I honestly thought I thought that was gonna be my last night on this earth. It was nighttime, I was driving, and I just had to pull over because I couldn't. It was bad. Like, it was to the point where I was just like pouring water on my face, because I was like trying to shock my body to wake back up, because I just felt like I was just about to go out of it, like pass out. I don't know, it was bad. Fast forward, I told myself that I wasn't gonna take the medication unless I absolutely felt like I needed it, because one, medication is only a temporary fix. Two, I don't want to lean on the medication as a crutch, because at the end of the day, it's anxiety, and I know I need to deal with it head on, by myself. At the end of the day, it's something that I have to deal with. So I want to do it without the medication. I want to be able to know how to deal with it and cope with it, and so that, you know, if it arises again, I'll know what to do. Still to this day, December 10th, I still have not taken any medication. I don't plan on taking it, but I do plan on keeping it for emergency purposes only. So some of the side effects, I feel like, besides, you know, what I was telling you guys, the after side effects, y'all, I found myself not wanting to do anything. I didn't want to drive, especially driving at night or in traffic or long distances. I wanted to sleep, but it was very hard for me to sleep. I would lay in bed and just close my eyes, and when I would close my eyes, I would just think all the negative things possible. Like, I think that's just anxiety, period. Like, when you're anxious, all you think about is negative thoughts, which is really bad. But I found myself like avoiding going places and doing things because for the fear of having an anxiety attack. But eventually, well, now I'm good. I still have panic attacks. Well, I still have anxiety attacks. It's just not as bad, and I know how to control it. I definitely push myself to go in those uncomfortable situations, like driving in traffic and driving at night, because like I said, I don't want to limit myself, because I know if I stop doing those things, then it'll kind of limit what I can do in my life, and that's just not what I want, especially since I have kids. That just cannot happen. Like I said, I found myself like wanting to sleep often, but I couldn't, so I ended up getting some ZQL that has ashwagandha in it, and y'all, the first week after being back, I took it every night. Then I realized, like, sis, you need to slow the fuck down, because you leaning on this is becoming your crutch. So yeah, and so I had to get out because I felt myself like the days didn't feel like days. I felt like a walking fucking zombie. I felt like I was going into depression, and that's just not something that I can allow myself to do, because like I said, I have a family. And so I just decided to get up, get out. I had to spend time with myself, put myself in those uncomfortable situations so they won't be uncomfortable, and so that I know how to deal with my anxiety when I am in those uncomfortable situations, if that makes sense. And this is the reason why I've been off social media. Not that this is the main cause of my anxiety, but I just feel like eliminating everything on the outside will help me to focus more on me, mentally and emotionally, physically and spiritually, all that stuff. So I've been taking my ashwagandha, I've been praying, I've been listening to my gospel music, I've been going out, exercising and walking, spending time by myself. And yeah, and I definitely feel like everything happens for a reason. I feel like this is something that had to happen, because when I tell you I fell off like of praying, it's been so long since I've prayed, and I really feel like this is like God telling me, like, get it together, get back to, you know, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it could have been so much worse. So I'm just thankful that level 10 of me going into the hospital, I know what level 10 is, and I know how not to get there anymore. And I say I know how not to get there because I feel like finding the root of your anxiety will help you to deal with it and cope with it better. I really have to ask myself, like, what is the main cause of your anxiety? Like, what's causing you to randomly just feel anxious? And I realized that I was unconsciously thinking negatively about everything, and more so death. Like, you know, my mother passed away in May, and I've come to be at peace with her death, and I'm okay with it. But I feel like the way that her death affected me emotionally, I just think about, like, when I pass away, when I die, how I never want my kids to feel how I felt when my mother passed away. But I just have to realize that is life, and death is a part of life. Energy never dies, and that I just pray when it is my time that I go in peace. I'm at peace, and my family is at peace. The root of my anxiety was death. Thinking about death, how I'm gonna die, how I'm gonna feel when I die, how it's gonna affect my family members, and I just was thinking about it all the time, and that really just spiked my anxiety. And I think being away, thinking like, what if something happens to me out here, and, you know, my family's not here, like, you know, what the hell's, you know, what's gonna happen? So that was, I found out the root of my anxiety. Everybody's root of their anxiety is different, but yeah, I just wanted to come on here, and hopefully I told you guys pretty much a lot. This video is already long, so I'm gonna have to chop some pieces up, or maybe do it in parts, because I just want you guys to know that that is why I've been gone. I'm not gonna say suffering. I've been dealing with anxiety, and I've been learning to cope with it, how to deal with it my own way. Yeah, I just wanted to be like a little open book, just to let you guys know, you know, what's been going on with me. And if you guys suffer from anxiety, I hate saying suffer, but if you guys deal with anxiety, and you know some tips to kind of cope with it, please make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. I've also watched some videos on YouTube about anxiety, and they're very informative. I think it's TED Talk, but they're very informative, and I really learned something from all the videos I watch, so I will link them in the description box if you are interested in watching them. That's just an update on where I've been. I'm also turning 30, y'all, on the 20th of December, so I am creeping. I'm about to be a part of the 30s club, and that's kind of like, ooh, you know, that's not, I don't think that has anything to do with my anxiety. It's just like, girl, you getting up there. And then also we are making a big move, you guys. We are moving out of the state of Georgia, hours away. I will let you guys know more about that. If you're interested, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Keep up with us on our journey to moving, because we're moving in like a few months, and that there kind of gives me anxiety, only because I've traveled before far away and I've never had a problem with anxiety. It's just me thinking about having an anxiety attack is giving me anxiety, like not knowing how I will be mentally when I'm traveling with kids and hours away. It's just like kind of, you know, gives me anxiety. But like I said, I'm doing a lot better, and I just thank God in advance for healing, and I thank him for deliverance. And I'm just thankful, because like I said, it could have been so much worse than what it was. If you guys deal with anxiety, please remember that you have full control over your emotions and your thoughts, and just be kind to yourself, because a lot of times when you have anxiety, you're really thinking of the worst possible situation, and you just have to remember that you are okay, and it is all mental, and it's pretty much you versus yourself. So be kind to yourself, please. Woosah, and pray, read your Bible, meditate, whatever it is that, you know, calms you, whether it's walking in the park. Do something that, you know, gives you peace. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much. I didn't want to just start vlogging and posting videos without you guys knowing, you know, why I've been gone. So again, thank you guys for watching. It's your girl KhalisaB, and I'm out.